now that it's been 7 years, I am kind of surprised that the deeper you go, the more subtle is the distinction between, hey yo, salam, peace. I am the Nomad Nana. Welcome to my channel. Hey yo, salam, peace. What's going on? It's Nomad Nana. Today I was reflecting on the difference between selfish and self aware. Now, I've had so many years reflecting on sort of the deep philosophical, existential, eschatological, and cosmological processes that we go through as humans and the concepts that we create in order to become aware. And I I don't believe self-awareness is automatic. I think because we have a self and we're evolving to not only understand ourselves, but to activate in life those steps that will lead us to a kind of peace with ourselves. We have to kind of figure out, like, what is it? So, for example, I left the US because I found that I could not be at peace in the bombardment that followed the first election of, uh, never mention his name. And so I thought to myself that I should put myself in a situation where I don't have to be bombarded by that negativity, on a daily. And it worked really well. However, because I have had a life of deep reflection, research, and also spiritual practice related to self awareness, I was not surprised. It's just that now that it's been 7 years, I am kind of surprised that the deeper you go, the more subtle is the distinction between being selfish and being self aware. Now, I have created a video where I talk about self care and I will talk about it some more, but on this particular occasion, sometimes when I recognize that I have implemented a very detailed self nurturing plan to address my arthritis, neuropathy, slip disc, blah, 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 and all these things that cause me to be in chronic pain. But I didn't want to have surgical intervention. I didn't want to have spinal injections. I didn't want to be on medication. So I developed a very ritual, very nurturing, very relaxing practice of twice weekly massage. Now, on the one hand, my self assessment of this is that this is really good. It's been really good for me. But the other day, my cardiologist had me wear one of those heart blood pressure monitors for 24 hours. So you sleep in it and everything, take it off the shower. But I continued to wear it when I was having my massage. And the lowest reading of my blood pressure for the whole 24-hour period came during the second hour of this 3 hour long massage. Now, what I call this self care, I can't get over the fact that it is very, very self centered. And yet, it's not selfish in the sense at which it is part of the trajectory of knowing myself and then treating myself as if the reality of myself required me to get real with it, with myself, as opposed to, those things that you indulge in because you like it or you love it. Like, here's me going to see the orangutan in Kalimantan Island. Yeah, that was amazing. And it had no other purpose than to allow me to be, up close and personal with this experience. I didn't achieve anything in the world. It did that definitely made me feel better, to see them. But unlike addressing chronic pain, it was a little bit more self-centered. I mean, it was selfish. And, so being selfish is not altogether a bad thing. I want you to understand that. I just want to say that in the process of us understanding ourselves spiritually, which by the way is an integrated part of other parts of ourselves, our physical, mental, um, and emotional self care or self attention or wellness is connected to our spiritual. But some of the language for spiritual discussion pretends that there is a place where you can go and you do not integrate all of these things into the notion of self. So for me, I had the idea of sort of the Tawhidic self is the self where we align, our own masculine and feminine energies, our receptive abilities, and our assertive abilities, that these things are in kind of a delicate balance with each other and they can be ticked off one side or the other all the time. So the difference between selfish and self aware can also fall into the slippery slope of, sort of blending and you don't kind of know the difference. So I think it's worth reflecting on with you here. And for me, self awareness requires us to understand and accept that we are part of the cosmic reality. We are not unique. That tends towards our selfish things where we think, we're unique and so therefore we deserve special treatment or, something like that. We are individual and in that sense distinct from others and therefore you kind of say unique, but actually everybody has that same thing and that's what makes it, not special. We are just regular people trying to make our way through the planet Earth for how long Allah wants us to make our way through. And it's us, it's ourself that has to make it. And again, an integrated self is the mind, body, spirit, emotions. And I think that sometimes we do things that look like they are spiritual, but they are not nurturing the depths of our being. In fact, they're very shallow and therefore more selfish. And it looks like to someone from the outside that it is self awareness. And so I really think that we have to think about self awareness as a kind of latent honesty and transparency with ourselves so that we understand the depth of our own capacity in this exchange in the universe with the creator of the universe, which I call Allah, as well as with the universe itself or the creation. So for me, self awareness is a place of honesty and authenticity. That I've decided, inshallah, for the rest of the days of my life. That I want to remove the shallow, surface level, looks good from the outside completion of the things for the self that will bring about the deepest sense of peace, serenity, harmony, joy, and love. And I can't get there unless I am truly self aware. I can make it look like it to you because I have this fabulous house or I do this amazing, 3 hour weekly, twice weekly ritual, of the sort of spa massage thing. But I know at the depth of my soul whether or not my soul is living in contentment with the presence of the divine, or if myself is just faking it to make it seem like I have arrived at actual self awareness. And the last thing I want to say about this is I think they say every 6 weeks, your cells replenish themselves. They grow, they change. So you're never the same person, and like they say, you can't step twice into a river because the river is moving. So wherever you step, that part of the river moves on. So you can't step into the same place in the river twice. The same thing with regard to yourself. Self awareness is never completed once and for all because for as long as you are alive, yourself is also evolving and changing and experiencing new things. And so you'd have to rekindle the self reflection, the deep reflection that will lead to self awareness. So, this is me, the Nomad Nana, reflecting on the self. What's happening with yourself? Comment in the section below, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, you know, help a sister out. Nomad Nana